All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. It's Saturday, March 21st, 2009, 11:56 p.m. Last night on the air, we made some comments that Natalee Hollway was located, and I'm here tonight to report that those rumors or information is incorrect. We have verified today that she has not been found. No remains have been found, nor anything leading to her her recovery has been found. We're going to discuss that right now, but I just wanted to once again I wanted to apologize to you guys for not getting the information correct. We did get some reports from a news station in Florida, and then we wrote back, and the person there said that the information was confirmed, but couldn't. He wanted to protect his sources. Well, we found out today from Aruba that Natalee Hollway has not been located. That said, we'll talk about that tonight. I have Gail St. John on with me, and then as usual we'll have Deborah and Troy. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
Okay, so we all know the news now. Gail, I know you don't follow this case. You know something about this case, but it's all over the media, and I understand why you're not really following it. It is a lot of drama that's been going on lately, and I'm actually glad that she hasn't been found because they were looking for bones. Apparently, it has been confirmed that that Natalee's father, I believe, has flown out a cadaver dog, and the dog went to the area and searched, and I don't believe they found anything. And even the local authorities there just supervised; they weren't even involved in this search. So, Deborah, any idea why you think this may have gotten started or blown out of proportion? Because it was all over the place that her remains have been found. We have links to that. Um,
Oh, yeah, I know it was all over the place, and from what it said initially, Brian, was that um, there was an officer or a dog handler that was on flight to Aruba
mhm.
and spoke with the flight attendant and told the flight attendant that this is what the news report said, that Natalee had been located and that the Aruban police were trying to keep it quiet and things like that. And then news stories came out quoting the flight attendant.
Right.
Now,
We
I
questioned. I know
was
we questioned that last night too. I asked why are you bringing a cadaver dog to identify remains? The dog is not going to be able to identify who that is. Obviously. Um,
well, the only thing I could come up with was if they only found partial remains, the reason for a cadaver dog would be to search more extensively to try to find the rest.
right.
But it just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And then we find out that all it turned out to be was that Dave Holloway wanted a pond in Aruba searched and was flying the officer and cadaver dog or handler and cadaver dog to Aruba to do that, and the Aruban police agreed to supervise it, and that's all it was.
Okay.
So there was a whole lot made of nothing.
Right. Earlier yesterday, we got the news report. The news report says this is it's quoted on the case file. It says source: body of Natalee Hollway found in Aruba. This was published by Thomas Francis of a local news station in Florida. That actual post is there. And then people had written back. We had written back, asking, "Is this for real?" And they even mentioned this is not a hoax, and he wanted to protect his sources. So, like I said, we should have double checked that. Once again, I'm sorry about that. That's not the way we should report the news if it's incorrect like that. I guess we've learned our lesson on that one. And this has happened a lot of other times. This case has been full of stuff like this, and I really don't know why. Um, any ideas
Well,
why, other than bringing it? I'm sorry, what?
to the point that it made people ask, is this another hoax?
Yeah, and this is a quote from Thomas himself. This is not a hoax, and everybody knows there's been a number of false leads in this case. Okay, and then he says, "We'll let you know." Okay, he didn't let anybody know. As far as we just checked now, there's no retraction or anything, as far as I know, from that news station. Um, so, anyways, we learned a lesson that one. I want to apologize. I am happy that she hasn't been found in this manner. I did also go on last night and said that it turns out my dream drawings and stuff are wrong, and I didn't want to give people false hope. Well, once again, this may, one I had may or may not be correct, but one I've had since day one is that she's possibly alive and living in the country of Colombia. And this may be related to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cases, and they all involve human trafficking. And we know Vandersloot. I know he's a human trafficker, and like I said, if he got caught once, that means he's probably done it dozens of times. You don't just get caught the first time you do something. Not usually. So I mean, what do you think, Troy? What do you think, Gail? I know when I talked to you, Gail, you didn't believe it in the first place. It turns out you were right. I mean,
well, that's one of those things. I didn't believe it was true. So.
Okay, but that wasn't even a psychic thing. That was like you just didn't believe it. Unfortunately, I did. If somebody says a body's been found and it's coming from a legitimate news company, a news source, and then they put out, well, the Aruban authorities want to keep this hush hush for now. That was understandable, and that made perfect sense to me. So I
mean, I was kind of excited, Brian. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I was kind of excited first. I got the first, thing on it, and then I said, no, the feeling's all wrong. It didn't feel right to me, and me, I go with those feelings. If it says it's wrong, I go with it.
Right. I mean, there's always a chance she could be in Aruba. If she's in Aruba, she's more than likely deceased. But like I said, I just never have gotten that. There's been literally dozens of dream drawings I've done. I've worked with a lot of people on this case. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if I worked on this case with you at all. Did we work on it at all together?
I think we had done some work.
Okay, and I just not maybe have posted it. Anything that you want to give us on this case? I have stuff posted, since actually the case was open on January 27th of 2006, so for that long of a time.
I have never officially worked on it, and for some reason just didn't have a big desire to get involved in all the hoopla that started. Of course, I really didn't even want to get involved in the Kaylee case because of all the stuff that was going on.
I know, because of the high-profile stuff.
Yeah, I just kind of got thrust into that.
Well, the same thing happened with me with the Madeline case, which is another story. The Madeline case actually was a dream drawing, and it happened before she went missing. We're gonna go. Well, that will be another show. But I think that people ask, why is there so much information posted on a lot of your cases and nothing on some other ones? Well, that comes from you guys. That comes from the readers. With Natalee Hollway, Kaylee Anthony, and Madeline McCann, I mean, I've gotten literally thousands of emails. So it's kind of hard not to say you won't do anything. You know what I'm saying, Gail? And that's why you went. Yeah. That's why you went down to Florida in the first place.
That's why I ended up, getting into that case, and I really, you knew how I fought it.
Yeah. I mean, but you feel bad. Everybody's saying, please do something, help us, and just saying no, and so eventually you give in and do it.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. So to me, this is good news. I realize that we reported this wrong, and we are taking responsibility for this. I know we're not, considered a legitimate news source, which you can see we're not. But we should have done a little more research on that. But just, coming from the source and then from the reasons why they didn't post a lot of things, I mean, to me, it was completely understandable of why the Aruban authorities didn't want to talk about it. That said, that could possibly mean that the information that I have and the information that I've worked with a lot of people with could be correct. And this case could be related to several other ones, and it's human trafficking. And we actually have an exact location in Colombia. The maps are up there, and all the other cases that are related. They've been up there for almost 4 years now. Apparently, no one's taken this seriously, which is fine with me. But I'm not going to be doing any additional work on this case. And I hate to say that, but this has gone on for too long, and I'm getting really, really sick and tired of this. This is terrible. I really wish that news reporter would come out and say, "Hey, I made a mistake," or something like that. But we did. That's it. Any other comments, Troy? Do you have anything to say?
Not on this case.
Okay. Deborah, anything? We don't need really to bring it up. Now, we did do a show on this before on Ustream, but I do not think that Ustream actually recorded it all the way. And I looked at it earlier and it didn't play. So there's a lot of issues with Ustream, and we are trying to look at. Actually, we've been looking at other stuff today.
Brian,
yeah.
and while you're on that subject, I have one already signed up and give it a test here when we're done with the show
Okay.
here. I'm going to give it a test.
Okay, let's do that.
Signed up and everything.
Okay. Ustream had said they were going to be changing their the ways that the format is, the FLV, whatever, and stuff like that. So far, I haven't seen anything. I do know that half the shows we do everything right, and it records, and at the end there's nothing there, or maybe there's like 2 minutes, there's something there. We try to stay under the 45.
Well, you can't edit it. You can't edit it. I mean,
yeah.
that's a problem too.
Yeah. Well, you can download. You can do. If it records, you can download. I've downloaded all the FLV files, Flash files.
Right.
But you know, it doesn't. I don't like doing a show knowing that maybe it might not be recorded. Because a lot of times we have guests on.
Just a couple of them that way.
Yeah, we have guests on, and the stuff you just can't get back, and you don't dare want to say, "Hey, would you come back on?" It's screwed up, especially when it involves missing people.
Yeah. I do notice that the other one we're looking at, it does have an edit program, so we should be all right.
Okay. Deborah, were you saying something?
Yeah, when you first discovered that there was a problem with it recording, I know there was a few shows that we did them 3 or 4 times, trying to get it to record.
Yeah. Then it seemed.
Yeah, I actually lost 2 of my shows because it said it was recording, then it didn't record it.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Recorded.
Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to end the show about Natalee Hollway. Once again, really sorry that you know, we've reported on that. I have changed everything. It might not still be updated on the site. It says still missing news reports were a hoax, and basically that was. You don't say that remains were found and they're not found. So I wish the family all their best. And I know they seem very insistent that their daughter is dead. I disagree with them, but that's not. There's nothing I can do about that. So thanks, guys. We'll be right back on with new Amber Alerts and the 3 old cases. So good night, and I'll see you in a few minutes. And thank you, guys.